So now I will hand over to our good friend from Dexler Energy Private Limited, Ravi Kumar, co-founder and CEO. So just one announcement. So after this, we will just have one question and we'll finish in 5 to 6 minutes. That's the quick panel. And I hope that our speakers will be available later also for coffee, then other questions can be asked. So over to you for the final talk of 2022.
Thank you, Jose. It's not the most enviable task to be the last speaker of the day. So I know that you've all had your fill of all the wonderful things the other speakers had to say. So while I do have a presentation, it's a bit of a, it's not really tailored to the audience that is here. So what I would do is I'll probably set the context a little bit before I jump in to talk about anything else, right? Just to give you some context to our current electricity situation. India is about third largest producer of electricity, right? And India also is about among the largest fossil fuel importers. India's current energy mix is predominantly fossil fuel based. About 70%, close to 70% is fossil fuel based. And if you were to just look at which of the sectors contribute the largest to greenhouse gas emissions in any country, if we take India's context, we are talking about 65 to 70% of our carbon emissions are because of our energy usage, right? And about 50% of that is power production. So mobility and power production can almost address 60% of carbon emissions in this country. So that is the situation, gentlemen and women. We are currently on the precipice of, we do talk about, I don't want to add fuel to any of the doomsday conspiracies that we have with regard to world ending, we sinking and -2 degree and all of this. I don't want to touch any of those. But the fact of the matter is that we as humans are making a mess of this place. That's it. That's a simple statement that will tell you that there is something that we need to do to clean this mess up, right? And in a small way, solar helps address this particular conundrum. Solar helps clean up this mess in the best way possible. Because with solar, and obviously there are other renewable energy sources which are cleaner and greener, together we can clean up about 50 to 60% of our carbon emission. That's the context. Now, why India? Why India has a great role to play here, right? India, we are blessed because we receive about 300 odd days of sun in the entire year. Very few countries can claim to this. And we receive about 5,000 trillion units of sun's incidence across this country, across this beautiful country of ours. And you know, our consumption is about probably 100 billion units, 110 billion units. Now you can see the potential that exists in this country. What solar can do to this country, not only to this country, potentially if our Prime Minister's goal of one world, one grid, one solar comes true, can potentially address energy needs of our neighboring countries as well as some of the Western worlds as well. So that's where we are, and that is why I love this sector, and that is why I believe that what we are doing today is helping the world, right? In a small way, but yes, in helping the world. I'm very proud to be part of this sector, right? In terms of, if you see why now, apart from the fact that the carbon emission story and so on and so forth, post-pandemic, what we have all seen as individuals, let alone organizations, corporates, countries, as individuals, we have all started relating more to sustainability. As individuals, we have all started understanding the need of or the consequences of the actions that we are doing today. And as a result of that, we are all more we are being more careful with our choices. When we are, if you see the number of conversations around organic food, healthy food, clean air, if you do a sound cloud of what's happening on the internet, probably sustainability and these terms associated with it will rank the highest or will speak the loudest. Now that tells you the state of affairs, right? Where the mindset is as individuals, as all of us, right? And if you see the shift in corporate psychology as well, this is reflecting in what they're doing. All of them, even HUL is trying to measure the carbon footprint of the products that they're sending out. Now, why is it doing that? Because we as consumers are asking for it, right? If you see the largest oil majors, Exxon, Shell, Total, BP, all of them have invested in renewable energy. You know what's happening. You know this shift in trends, right? Closer home, we have Mr. Mukesh Ambani, who has committed $80 billion towards renewable energy. जो अभी तक तेल बेचता था, उसने कहा कि I will spend $80 billion in making investments into renewable energy. Right? That's what we are talking about. That's the focus on renewable energy, right? So what we try to do, now coming to what we try to do, is we help corporates become sustainable. We help corporates move their current consumption, which is predominantly fossil fuel based, to solar. How we do that is that we invest. Now, Claire talked about clean air as service. So we are talking about sun as service, right? We invest in the technology, we build the asset, we operate and maintain the asset and provide electricity to the corporates. I'm going to skip all of this. So, just to give you some context, a lakh square feet can generate about potentially 15 lakh units per annum. 15 lakh units can translate to about 30 to 40 lakh rupees of savings for the corporates. So forget about sustainability, forget about climate change, forget about the greenness of it. Pure economics. Why corporates love solar is pure economics. The savings speak for themselves. About 80% of India, 80 to 90% of India, the commercial and industrial tariffs are significantly higher. Retail tariffs that we pay for electricity are significantly higher than the average cost of supply for the utilities. Which means that all of these guys are paying through their nose to subsidize the inefficiencies of our electricity sector. Now, when we simply go and offer them this, we don't have to tell them about greenness of it or the beauty of how solar can help reduce the carbon emissions. All they see is the bottom line. And they love the bottom line. That's it. And nothing else. So what we do is, typically there are two kinds of models that we work. Like I said, one is zero investment. We build it, we operate, we take the technology risk, we supply electricity to you. The other one is where a corporate themselves comes to us and says, look, I want to invest, you help me set it up. So we are like the the brick and mortar guys who come together, put it all together and give it to them, right? Where are we? We have built so far more than 100 megawatts of solar. We've contributed to one of the largest captive solar plant in Asia. In fact, we have contributed to building one of the largest solar rooftop PV plant on a dairy farm right here on the outskirts of Bangalore. We do a lot of customized solar solutions. We are also getting into mobility. We've done first ever zero emission EV charging station, which is an IASC. Anybody who's interested will be happy to show them. This is all a lot of mumbo jumbo about how we are good, how we are great. I'm happy to have conversations around how we are different from others. I will quickly show you, this is one of our beautiful plants. It's a dairy farm, 6.7 megawatt. You can see how it is completely covered. The roof is completely covered. This is helping a steel plant. This is actually supplying power to a steel plant, helping them reduce their total electricity consumption from fossil by about 20%. We're doing a second phase to this, which will take them to 50%. We are also doing currently a wind plant. Combined, all put together, we will be taking them to about 70-75% to green energy. These are some of the other plants that we have done. Beautiful plants. Again, we are supplying. We are in the retail space. We have set up projects for D-Mart. We've set up projects for one of the textile companies, large textile companies, again closer to Bangalore. We worked with the IT guys, the Tata Communications roof space, again in Bangalore. These are some of the really good ones that are helping the consumers benefit directly, straight away to the bottom line. Like I said, the savings will be from day one. Essentially, from the day I switch them on, you will start seeing savings. I think I'm already. We also do, so there are, typically there are limitations in roof space, right? So when we do rooftop projects, we may not be able to address the total consumption requirements of a particular corporate. So what we do is we also set up projects elsewhere, which is off-site, pick up a land which is closer to evacuation infrastructure or the grid network in that particular state, in that particular location, set it up and supply power to their facilities across Bangalore or across Karnataka state. So this is one of the largest, like I said, 52 megawatts that we have done in Bidar. That's the total area under which it is being set up over close to 220 acres. It's performing beautifully. It's helping the client with about close to 40% of his consumption is currently offset with this particular plant. He's a large textile unit, has multiple operations, multiple facilities, so he's still power hungry. We are trying to help him go further, next step into getting closer to 100%. This is another one of their own. We also do energy efficiency for some of clients, very specific, not necessarily for everyone. The idea is before they adopt solar, we want to see if there are low-hanging fruits which can help them reduce their energy consumption, so that the solar setup essentially helps them go completely 100% green, rather than trying to over-design capacities for their energy needs which are currently inefficient. Thank you. That's it. Good day to you.